of efforts to paralyze the country. Students at the forefront of daily protests have also said they plan to boycott class. Still to come, more than a dozen dead after a cable car crash in northern Italy. Buskers in Singapore find a new platform to reach audiences.
There was a huge manhunt for this man.
Podcast producer Rovik Roberts investigates a mysterious murder from the past.
This is a spicy case. Spicy.
To understand how Singapore turned from a city of vice.
Singapore was a Chicago of the East. Clashes and shootings were rampant.
Into one of the safest in the world.
When the killing started, holy smoke, it was a game changer.
Into the Vault 3, Wednesday on CNA.
This June, Asia's past, present and future comes together. Race to feed the world as scientists, farmers and entrepreneurs solve the impending food crisis. Journalist Yu Maraki unveils the transformation of Japan's social and political identity in Deciphering Japan, and relive the history of the Chinese Communist Party as it marks 100 years of existence. This June on CNA.
They treat me like a slave.
तो एक के चलती हजारों आदमी भूखे मर जाते हैं।
मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं कहीं मम्मी को मैं बहुत बोलता रहा, मम्मी मुझे कुछ अच्छा पॉइजन दे दो कि मैं मर जाऊं।
Oh my God, they've been blasting the wrecks.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia.
Breaking news.
Chanting for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to step down.
Long live the people! We will be seeing sporadic protests flare up from time and time again.
Key developments.
37th ASEAN Summit.
Live events. Analysis and perspectives.
We will really be seeing vaccines soon.
Imports, which were expected to grow slightly, contracted 2.1%.
News that matters. Asia Now, daily. On CNA.
The UN Security Council has called for full adherence to the ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinians as the truce holds for a third day. In its first statement since the violence erupted, the Council also stressed the need for immediate humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian population in Gaza. In Gaza, residents are trying to pick up the pieces after 11 days of intense air strikes. Authorities have started distributing tents and mattresses, and convoys of lorries are also bringing much-needed medicine, food and fuel after Israel opened a border crossing.
The way the system works, the humanitarian community works, is that the UN agencies and the NGOs, both Palestinian and international NGOs, will come together and will prioritize what the needs are. There are many needs, obviously, in a situation like this. Everything from shelter, healthcare, especially during COVID. We're going to go and see the center that was damaged, the laboratory that was damaged for COVID as well. Food needs, it's really across the board.
In Tel Aviv, Israelis have rallied in support of the ceasefire. They're also calling for an end to violence between Israeli Arabs and Jews that spiked after the conflict intensified. Over a dozen people have died after a cable car crashed to the ground in northern Italy. The cable car ferries tourists and locals from the resort town of Stresa to the top of Motaron Mountain in 20 minutes. Alpine rescuers and ambulance helicopters were quickly dispatched to the scene. 2 children have been brought to hospital in the city of Turin after suffering grave injuries. The cause of the crash has not been determined. Singapore has reported 22 new locally transmitted COVID-19 cases. 21 are in the community and 1 in a dormitory. It's the first case detected in a dorm in over 3 weeks. 19 are linked to previous cases, amongst which 12 have already been quarantined. 3 are currently unlinked. In all, there are 25 new cases. There are 3 imported ones. They had been placed on stay-home notice upon arrival. 2 are returning Singaporeans or permanent residents. Buskers in Singapore will get a new stage to serenade audiences starting next month. Curated live-streamed sessions will be held so they can gain fans and make up for lost earnings, with pilots to bring back street acts on hold amid COVID-19. More than 10 acts have expressed interest, but it may not be enough to revive the busking scene. Neo Rongwei has more.
How many viewers do we have right now? 71.
Dwindling audiences and taking slashed by half.
This is what we're going to do again.
With his circus tricks falling flat on screen, Jonathan Goh moved on to his next act as a delivery rider. He's unsure if he'll stage a comeback, even with large-scale virtual busking sessions on the cards.
It's an opportunity cost for me. It depends on, should I go do GrabFood today or should I join this digital live busking? And if I don't go to GrabFood, can I actually earn enough to pay for my bills the next week?
The National Arts Council will press play on live stream sessions every 3 months for viewers to open their hearts and wallets through QR codes. Each session will run for about 8 hours. For some 350 buskers here, it's a chance to reverse their waning fortunes now that physical busking pilots are paused. They can jam alone or in groups of up to 10 without masks, with safe distancing in place.
The platform is actually going to be conducted at a venue that is equipped for live streaming, and there will be technical professionals on hand. They just really need to come down to the space, bring their usual equipment and play as they usually do. It would help them continue to build their audience base.
Full-time busker Cliff Lee hopes the bigger stage and wider social media reach will help him strike a chord with more listeners. He's now earning next to nothing from his live streams, despite doing them 4 times a week. Cliff says the once active busking community is a whisper of what it used to be.
I feel more and more alone in the situation because a lot of buskers, I feel that they have given up. More people are letting go of it more and more, that they don't want to do it full time, but they just do it on the side.
But the community is confident it's not their swan song yet, and the busking scene will come alive when performers can hit the streets again.
And that's World Tonight. Headlines anytime at CNA.Asia, and you can find us on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter as well. From all of us here, have a good night.
Look forward to brighter skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Malaysia is seeing what many are calling a new dawn. There's a sense of anticipation, a hope of change for the better. I'm here to make sense of these changes taking place and bring you stories from a country that's charting a new direction for its future.